The parents of the bride and groom are also part of the wedding covenant because it is their commitment throughout the lifetime of their children up until this point that they have been present. Your parents' role in this union is very significant. Number one, because you would not be here if it was not for them. But also more importantly, it is their love, it is their nurturing, and it is their overall creation and the bringing of life that has all of us here this evening. The other reason why your parents' role is very significant is because it is important for you to acknowledge, honor, and continue to respect and show gratitude for the ones that have brought life forward and created the life that you have chosen to join with this evening. So for that reason, it's always honor and due to the ones also known as your in-laws. You may all be seated. So welcome. This evening we gather to honor and celebrate the formal and sacred union of Francesco and Ashley. Together we are here to pay homage to life legacies and to also remind you of the importance of friendship and family. Before you we have the marital altar, and on this altar we have various items. You know what this is?
An egg.
An egg?
Right, it is an egg. And an egg represents new life, creation, and also potential. This evening is going to symbolize your marriage. Part of you being married is that you came as individuals. And like an egg is going to serve its purpose. But when an egg is fertilized, just like a marriage, when it's fertilized with love and trust and loyalty and support and proper financial planning, this egg will develop into something more prosperous and successful, just like your marriage. Do you know what these are?
Eggshells.
These are eggshells. The reason why I have an offering of eggshells for you this evening, because typically when I'm asked to officiate a wedding, it's very easy and it's clear cut, and I basically am told to just do what I do. But not with this couple. With this couple, it was like I was walking literally on eggshells. And they talked to me like I was a soldier in the military. If anyone knows Ashley and Francesco personally, then you will know that their character and their personality is very intense and stern and authoritative and serious. So the direction that I received from them was, don't do this, don't say that. We don't care that your children are big, they're eating fries. And don't be talking to people that no one else in the room can see except you. I'm like, what do you mean don't talk to people that no one else in the room can see except me? You mean ancestors? Exactly, because Frankie and I have already discussed that we're not paying anything extra for any invisible praise of food DNA, right, Frankie?
Right.
So they agreed. So, the just reception, I just never received that reception in individuals before, so I'm like, dude, I got it! Yeah. So, I had to realize that I had to speak their language. These are military people, and this is now a military family. And part of being a Marine is that the training that they receive is not only intense, but it's direct and it's disciplined. And it teaches loyalty, and it teaches integrity. And what it also teaches is that they have been conditioned from the very beginning to endure certain situations and certain environments that's going to help them see through any situation to be victory, to see victory and be victorious. So the military has prepared them to the point, particularly the Marines, that they have even equipped them with proper uniforms, which is the camouflage. And the purpose of the camouflage is so they can blend into any environment, whether it's the forest, the desert, the snow. And the purpose of that is that, so one of the purposes is that although you are physically present, you still have to be still and silent and observant, because that will give you the advantage of seeing what it is you have to tackle. The same thing with a relationship. Sometimes by being still and silent and observant, that will assist with your communication, because it allows you to see and feel and understand what your partner needs and desires, what will help them. In addition to the camouflage, as you see that, ironically, it has light and dark colors within it. Light and dark. And that also goes to show that within any relationship, there is a period of lightness and a period of darkness. But what's significant in your relationship is to find that balance. There will be definitely light times where it's love and joy and positivity. But there also comes times where there's more darker times, where there are challenges, there's obstacles, there's diversions that pull you away from your initial mission. And what you have been trained and taught is that you remain focused. Focus on your mission. Your mission tonight is to be united and be committed. And as Marines, you have been taught to always be ready to fight for what you have been taught to protect. And hopefully this evening, you know what you protect is your family and your legacy and the love that you have between the two of you. When I first had my initial meeting with Frankie and Ashley, it was through a video conference. And I was, as we were speaking and they were meeting, they were actually in the kitchen cooking together. So it was good to see them working in their partnership and sharing in roles and talking to each other and just making something beautiful. So I thought it was only fitting for them to endure the tasting ceremony as well. One of the purposes of the tasting ceremonies is that you are able to taste the different flavors of your marriage, the different essence, the different emotions that you will endure. What did that taste like? Lemon, and it's sour. And there's times that there will be sour situations, and there'll be bitterness between you two. And the resources that you have is that you have one another. You have evenings like tonight to make you remember, don't forget your mission of why you are here, to help bring you through the sourness. And what is that flavor?
That's like, that's some heat.
That's heat.
That's some fire.
That's heat and it's fire. So fire serves dual purposes. Fire can be it's a creative energy. Just like the sun is a creative force. It's also when there's too much fire, it can consume a relationship and burn things down. But also you need fire to create, right? You need that passion. So a lot of times when we're married, we get caught up in life and we forget the heat. We forget the passion. And sometimes when you're stuck in the bitterness, sometimes adding a little heat to the bitter and sour times can help with that. Clear? honey and it's sweet. So at the end of the day, you can endure bitter and sourness. You can even have so much heat that it feels like your world is about to crumble. But that same sweetness, that same love that brought you here together, if you focus on that and remember that and continue to cultivate that, that can still make you successful, make your marriage victorious. I assume that the people standing next to you are your best friends. So your best friends, your maid of honor, and your best man. So when things are joyful, these are the people that you call and speak to. And when things are going negative or rough or just challenging, I assume that these are the people that you vent to as well.
Yes.
So that exchange of energy sometimes can be overwhelming for the people you care about, because when you're happy, she's happy. When there's something that's upsetting you, it's going to affect him because that's your brother. So it's only fitting that you also share in their experience so that you can remind her when things are sour, that there's always turn up the heat, Ashley. Or when things are very bitter, well, did you shower her with love and honey? So these are the lessons for them, but it's also the lessons for you too, because you are the ones that are there. It also reminds you that when things are tight and you are not working together, not only are they affected, when you hurt him, you hurt him. You hurt them, your parents. When you hurt her, not only is she hurting, but she suffers, and they suffer. And because we're all family here, we somehow are impacted by what isn't going healthy here. But we are all rooting for you. Number one, because you're Marines. And the importance of that is that you have been equipped with all the tools, essential tools to get through anything. So if you can get through the initiations, the rite of passage of what the military has put you through, there's nothing in your relationship that you cannot fight for together to be successful. Correct? Taste a little. So they endure what you endure. In here, what did you see?
Nothing.
Nothing. Sometimes when it feels like you are alone and you don't remember what you have to assist you in your situation, what's one thing that you may not be able to see, or one entity that you may not be able to see, but you know it's there? It's the Creator. It's God. And God, just like the military, has equipped you with everything that you need to be successful in your life together. I asked Ashley her relationship with the Creator, and she basically told me that she feels that God is in everything and God is everywhere. And I feel that that is my answer. Because you can wake up in the morning and you can look to the sun and see that the sun rises every morning. Regardless of what you're going through, you can rebirth yourself, rebirth your situation, rebirth your relationship, and you will rise again just like the sun. In the evenings driving home, you can look up to the sky and you can sometimes see the bright, beautiful full moon. The moon is showing you that there is always clarity to a situation, because the moon brings light. It shines the light on situations so that you can see. It's also governed by the water element, which helps you with your communication so that you can have a flowing communication that is open. Last night was the first night of the full moon. So that is also a blessing on your union today, because you are getting married and joined, spiritually joined under the energies of the full moon. The full moon represents new life. It represents creation, and it represents all the things that you have planned for and wished for and dreamed for. It represents it coming into fruition. That's why it's full, like a mother giving birth. So tonight actually confirms that as far as your dreams and what you've wanted for yourself and one another coming to fruition. So at this time, I want you to turn to one another. They have prepared personal vows for themselves. And the significance of their personal vows is that sometimes there's things, there's contracts, there's agreements within a marriage that is just for them, without outside opinions, without outside judgment, because every marriage and relationship is unique and different. So at this time, they will share, they have plans for one another's life. So at this time in our ceremony, we will have the formal joining by way of the aunt of the bride and the justice of the peace, Dorette Evans Moss.
Today is a celebration of love, commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people who are in it forever. Today, promises become eternal and friends become family. However, this day is not about the words spoken or the rings exchanged, nor is it about the grand pronouncement and the procession of marches. This day, the day of Ashley and Francesco's wedding, is about love. One of my favorite authors once wrote, "If love is not all, then it is nothing." This principle and its opposite collide down the years of my breathless tale. Ashley and Francesco, your breathless tale is about to begin. If love is not all, then it's nothing. It's opposite. If love is all, then it's everything, which is going to be the basis for every aspect of your relationship. All you have to do is simply love one another, and that love shows through in everything you do for one another. How you treat each other in good times and bad. Love isn't just a word, it's an action. Love isn't something you say, it's something you do. Love is genuine, honest, and open, compassionate and kind, passionate and blind. Love doesn't know space or time, nor look through jealous eyes. And in the modified words of Paul in his letter to Corinthians, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never dies. There are many different kinds of love, almost if not all of which are present here today. There is romantic love, the love of parents and children, of brothers and sisters and family, and love amongst friends. Not only do Ashley and Francesco love one another romantically, and they do, you can see it in every look, every touch, every moment they're together. They also love one another as friends. In fact, they are best friends, constantly giggling and teasing, and very plainly and obviously having fun together. That love and enjoyment of each other as best friends will sustain them through this marriage. In addition, the love collectively in this room from friends and family will help sustain and support promises they make today. All of us here will help solidify this bond as these two individuals are joined as husband and wife. This new journey will be at times richly rewarding and extremely difficult, but most importantly, it will be a journey you take together. Marriage is much more than your signature on a legal contract. You are promising in front of all these people you love that you want to be with each other and only each other for the rest of your lives, and that you will do everything in your power to honor the promises you are making here today. For their part, the people who love you will also do everything in their power to try to help you hold up your end of the bargain. On this day of your marriage, you stand somewhat apart from all other human beings. You stand within the charmed circle of your love, and this is as it should be. But love is not meant to be the possession of two people alone. Rather, it will serve as a common source of energy, as a form in which you find the strength to live your lives with courage. From this day onward, you must come closer together than ever before. You must love one another in sickness and in health, for better and for worse. But at the same time, your love should give you the strength to stand apart, to seek out your unique destinies, to make your special contribution to the world, which is always part of us and more than us. Being assured that you are aware of the meaning of this ceremony, I will now ask you to repeat the marriage vows. Do you, Francesco Paulo Marzio, take this woman, Ashley Ivana Johnson, to be your lawful wedded wife, to love, honor, and cherish her through sickness and in health, through happiness and travail, until death do you part?
I do.
Place the ring upon her finger and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed,
I do wed,
and forever pledge my devotion.
forever pledge my devotions.
Do you, Ashley Ivana Johnson, take this man, Francesco Paulo Marzio, to be your lawful wedded husband, to love, honor, and cherish him through sickness and in health, through times of happiness and travail, until death do you part?
I do.
Place this ring upon his finger and repeat after me. With this ring I thee wed,
With this ring, I thee wed,
and forever
and forever
pledge my devotion.
pledge my devotion.
As you are joining hands,
And a reading from Ruth. Entreat me not to leave you, or to turn back from following after you. For wherever you go and lodge, I will go and lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts you and me.
by the act of joining hands, you take to yourself the relation of husband and wife, and solemnly promise to honor, comfort, and cherish each other so as long as you both shall live. You came to me as two single people, and you will now leave as a married couple, united to each other by the binding contract you have just entered. Your cares, your worries, your pleasures, and your joys you must share with each other. Therefore, in accordance with the law of Connecticut, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Connecticut, I do pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor for the first time to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Francesco Marzio.
That means kiss. That means kiss.
Maybe it's intuition. Some things you just don't question. Like in your eyes, I see my future and instead, there it goes. I think I found my best friend. I know that it might sound more than a little crazy, but I believe I knew I loved you before I met you. I think I'd read you into life. I knew I loved you before I met you. I had been waiting all my life. There's just no rhyme or reason, only the sense of completion. And in your eyes, I see them missing pieces. I'm searching for, I think I found my way home. I know that it might sound more than a little crazy, but I believe I knew I loved you before I met you. I think I read you.
Wait for it.
it's not to be actually Marshall. Somebody might say, I don't know why Francesco is listening, but I'm so grateful that he did. It means a lot to me that he has, because I've known him for a very long time. We went through ups and downs together, high school, sports, so much more, and name it, one like we did. I'm up here, I had something written, forgot it, now I'm up here, just speaking from the heart, I must say. And to see such a crowd come together for these two fine band and one, it just warms my heart. Just to see in the world today that we can all gather together and celebrate such a union and such a love as this. The paprika is still burning there.
Oh yeah, that was spicy.
I've been up here, well, I've known Frank close to what, 9, 10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years. Too long.
No, it's not. It's long enough.
You're right. Almost not long enough.
Not long enough. All right. One of our friends couldn't make it this evening. And we're all here for him. I'm sure if he was here, the party would be so much better. Just his spirit and the person he is, it would just make everybody better. And unfortunately, he's not, so now I have to figure out how to do that. I'm not much of a speaker in public, but I'm trying my best. Once again, please give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Marcel.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. Ashley and I met in 2011, and we grew up together. And so I say that because we were both young women who had enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. And the challenges that come with that are very unique, not just in Marine Corps culture, but for women in that culture. So I got to watch Ashley grow up as a person, and it's been an amazing journey. So one of my favorite early memories of her is when we got her first promotion. And so for Marines, it's a big deal to get your first promotion, but there was about 20 of us getting that first pin, and I think about 18 people chose Ashley Johnson to come up and pin them. And that was so significant because out of everybody in the schoolhouse, there were 300 people, they chose her. And so they chose the light that she brings as a person, and I think that's just incredible. And so throughout that journey, Ashley has honed in her traits as who she is as a person. She's honest, caring, absolutely down to earth, and I think that Frank brings out the absolute best in her. And so coming here today to see them wed, I never met him. And so I flew all the way across the country to Washington State to watch my best friend get married. It's just like, what's going on? But before ever coming here, I was so okay with her getting married because from day one, you brought out the best in Ashley. And I've never seen her so happy. And so during times that it gets rough, you two think about all the things that brought you together and always go back to those traits of bringing out the best in each other. And so throughout the rest of your lives, I want to wish you the best.
Because you learn to drink the white crap, the white cream, the white appetite, the red appetite, the whole works.
Uncle Ray. Uncle Ray.
I will teach you something. Right? That's just a culture thing. Drink and dance. Let's be serious now. Congratulations. Thank you. for making my son happy. And peace.
You're gonna make me cry.
Do it.
To be a part of this family. Thank you. And so wherever you get trouble, yes, I hope you get his ass.
Everybody's gonna say some crying, some of this stuff. I usually do it this time because today I'm extremely happy for my daughter because I think she found a really special guy. I'm watching for this time soon, and I hope he lives up to what I believe is going to be a long marriage and relationship. Now, as far as Ashley goes, Francisco?
Which one? I'm listening. That one? Oh, you're listening? Okay, good.
You're important. Because you just married my daughter, who's someone to say what you need. So she's tough. And it really made her tougher. So, I'm like you. Invite you to our family. I wish you the best. Welcome to our family. And I hope you guys have a long and wonderful marriage. And whenever you need me, just call me. That's how I am.
Oh, here we go.
Gospels everywhere. How's everybody? Okay? Welcome. Thank you for coming over for the son. His new bride wedding. So it's a new chapter in their life, and I'm going to be very quick. Congratulations, and lots of kids.
Lots of kids.
Don't worry about nothing. Life is too short. He's tough too. He's African and half Jamaican. I'll let you figure out which side is the Jamaican and which one is the I drop the mic.
Yes. Lock off the lights, them.
Last time we get funky. To the right now. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide to the left.
Everybody facing different directions.
Crisscross. Crisscross.
Cha-cha roots moves already. Hand on your knees, hand on your knees. Let's say hello, let's go, hello, hello.
Stabbing it? Are we gonna do a ring away? Why not? Step it down.
So the top layer is supposed to be yours.
Step it down.
You hear? It's supposed to be yours. So you guys are gonna either the bottom or the middle. Usually the bottom.
The bottom.
Okay, then another one. Any plates?
Where's the plate?
That's what I said. I don't know. Yeah, so you have both feet each other at the same time. No, you both wrap your arms around each other, feet, split yourself.
I know what I'm doing. It's our first time.
Yeah. off.
I gotta lick it off.
Hey, how we doing tonight? Good?
That means kiss.
Let's get through the toast first, and then the class. And then the class.
Hey, I just want to say, thank you for both sides of the family that showed up. It means it from the bottom of my heart, so it's our heart now. Because, we've been in the military for, 8 to 10 years now, so we've been away from all of you guys for a long time, so all the memories that we shared, we lost. And seeing on Facebook or seeing on, social media that we had to see from a distance, from my deployments, her adventures out in Japan and things like that. So it means a lot that all of you show up, today for, our special day. It's not necessarily just our special day, The joining of the two families. We have a big, crazy ass family now. We got Jamaicans, Costa Ricans, Italians. We're just a big ass mafia, Hey! My dad hasn't stopped drinking since the minute he got here. See, it's crazy to see. So, I said my piece. I love all of you from the bottom of my heart. It's not the last time we're gonna party. So.
Baby shower.
Oh, no.
And we always got Labor Day. I heard her side of the family.
And the baby shower.
Right. Good?
So good.
So let's give it a hand for the handsome groom.
All right, now for real though, make some noise for the bride over here.
So silly.
Facts.
I would like to say that we are truly blessed. We're blessed. This past 6 months of planning and arranging has been probably the most stressful part of this union. Allowing for both families to come together and share in this special moment together. Friends come from across the country and here, Kyle.
I see you. I see you, boo.
North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Washington, Jersey,
and Dirty Jersey.
California,
Seattle.
We are together.
You're right, bro.
Near and far, near, Bridgeport, obviously. It's even hard to find the words to express how grateful we are to every single one of you for supporting us in our decision on getting married, supporting our decision in our next chapter in our life, and just being here to support everything that we're doing from here and onwards.
So like father, like son? No?
No.
No. The other one broke. He broke the other one's broken.
It's gonna be alright. No? Alright, screw you guys. Trying to have fun.
It's hard for me to find the words. I'm trying to find the words. We talked. Check this out. The best man and the maid of honor talked about how special we are to them. But I would like to talk about how special Francesco is to me.
Which one?
This Francesco.
Which?
You got it? Yeah, alright, cool.
For some of you that don't know, because to some of you this is even a surprise that we would even get married. Francesco, Frankie, as I know him, has been my friend for probably a year and a half. But the thing is that this year and a half has been the most stressful and the most difficult part of our last 2 years of existence, probably ever on this earth. Working 120 hours a week, pushing our bodies to limits that we didn't even know were possible. And I would like to share one moment that I had with Frankie, of many, but one in particular. Frankie is the type of person who is so selfless that he puts his friend before he puts himself. He puts his sleep before he puts himself. Or he puts me before he puts his sleep. Something that, as a drone instructor, as a Marine, is something that's very vital to us. Because we only get maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep in the job that we're doing right now. So I was in cycle, and I didn't eat that day. I didn't. I was too busy worrying about things that were beyond me, making the next generation of Marines. And Frankie calls me out of nowhere, you know, and was just like, hey, are you good? Are you good? And I just made a simple comment like, yeah, I'm hungry, but you know, it's all good. Like, I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up the next day, do the same thing. Frankie could have taken that and just been okay, you know, as a friend. Hey man, get some food, you know. That's what you should do. No, he was in bed. He got dressed, jumped in his car, went to the nearest food stop, which was McDonald's. Praise God.
24 hours.
And he drove back to base, and he brought me food. But he didn't just bring me food. He sat and listened to all my complaints and my moans and my gripes that happened that past day, that past week, the past 3 weeks of just the crap that I had to deal with at work. And that's the kind of man that I know that I'm marrying. That's the type of person that I know that I'm invested in. I just want to let everyone else know that my decision was definitely thought of. It was definitely something that I took time and patience, and I took effort into thinking about the person that I was going to marry, and that is Francesco Marzio. I'm not good at breaking mic, so do you have anything else?
How much money you pay to say all this?
No, it's okay.
So,
I plead the fifth.
That's right.
our parting words is thank you so much for traveling so far to share in our special day. If you would all raise your glasses, if you have glasses.
If you don't have glasses, carry something.
Let's give it up one last time.
Yeah.
To Mr. and Mrs. Francesco Marzio.